Hey everybody, I was going to talk to you about something a little different today. My friend Steve Turtle talks about work camping all the time and jobs that full-timers can do to earn money while they're out living in their RVs. But anyway, the other day I was watching one of Steve's videos and I got thinking, well, what I do would make a pretty good uh, full-timers part-time job, or even full-time if they wanted to live in one place and just travel out from one area. But driving a school bus don't take up much time. The pay's not bad, uh, and a lot of this information I'm going to tell you is based on where I work here in North Alabama at in DeKalb County. Here which I think it's the salary set by the state, but we make about, give or take a little, $13,000 a year full time. But you can do it part time, and part timers work when they want. They take if somebody's out sick, they take a shift. If they don't want to take it, they don't have to take it. As far as I know, you don't have to take so many days. You just take what you want. So if you want to go travel for a month, come home, stay for a month, and work, that's great. Subs are so hard to get right now that school systems are nearly bend over backwards to get subs. So a lot of people get scared when it comes to thinking about driving a school bus, but really a school bus is not much different than your average pickup truck. Yeah, it is a little bigger, but the operation part of it is pretty simple. And if you do like me, you drive a special needs bus, you could very well have a full-time aide with you at all times. My aide takes care of the kids pretty much. I help her. But we don't have a bad bunch of kids. We have good kids. Our special needs kids, they mind well, and they do very good. And I've been doing this 15 years. I've really never had a bad bunch of kids. But I'm going to show you around a little bit and maybe take away some of the fears you guys have about driving a bus. And like I say, this won't be for everybody, but it would be for the retired person, the person that wants to travel some, but not maybe, too far off all the time. Be a great job for somebody that wanted to sub part-time and maybe just travel every now and then, or travel and come back. Once you get all your paperwork done and you clear all your background checks, it's pretty simple. You just get on the internet and take jobs when you need it. So anyway, we'll go over the bus and I'll show you a little bit more. Alright guys, this is the inside of my bus. A lot of people think just because they're big old buses and you see a lot of buttons and switches and stuff, that it takes a rocket science to drive one of these, and that's not really true. There's not very many more things on this about the driving part than they are a regular vehicle. Matter of fact, probably the only thing that you would add to a school bus than you would have in your car would be the yellow flashers to tell people that you're fixing to stop, and then the red flashers to tell people to stop when you're loading and unloading. That's pretty much it. I mean, everything else is basic. This is your door to open and close the door automatically. Some of your older buses don't have that. And then you have, this is your cruise. Instead of being on your steering wheel, you have it here. We actually call it high idle because we can crank our buses in the wintertime and idle it up and set it so it will warm up. But that also doubles as a cruise control. You got where you get out of your vehicle and you just put it in park and you pull the emergency brake if you got a straight shift, or some people lock their emergency brakes anyway. Well, this is the emergency brake on the school bus. We lock this down and it locks the brakes down. And then a lot of these gauges and stuff just tells us what everything has in it, you know, and it's just basic stuff. All cars have to have, you know, battery power, and all cars just about has a water temperature and a transmission and an oil temperature. That's all basic stuff. Your RPM gauge and the speedometer. That's just basic stuff. And when you come over here, none of this is really fancy. It's a lot of buttons, but all this is a switch for this fan, for a fan to help keep your windows from fogging over on the inside, or it'll actually turn around and blow on the driver. So that's that switch. You come over here, and all of these switches is heat and air. That's all they do, is heat and air. Not nothing, no big deal there. This button right here is something you won't see on a car. It is a noise suppressor. So if I pull up to a railroad track, I flip this right here, and anything that makes a racket on this bus shuts off. Any fans, you know, any radios, anything, it'll shut off. And then you have dome lights, which you have in a car. This has a gate, a little arm that comes out front, so that it makes the kids walk further out in front of the bus. You can turn it on and off, or automatic. I leave it on automatic. I want it on all the time. This is the flashing strobe light that you see on top of school buses, and you see them on the other different vehicles too. You see them strobing, especially when it's raining. We only turn ours on pretty much when it's raining or foggy. And then all this right here has to do with heat and air. So it looks scary, but don't let it scare you. Learning to drive one of these is pretty simple. The rest of this stuff, not much to it. You got emergency windows, nothing to it. Pull the latch, open it. Got one on the other side, pull the latch, open it. And then my bus is short, so I only have one overhead. And it's self-explanatory. You turn the little red knob, shove it open. It's not, like I say, it's not rocket science. Wheelchair stuff, if you're special needs, they teach you how to do that. I mean, our kids could do it themselves. We don't allow them to do that. We allow them to help us, you know, but we have to make sure it's done right. And then these little yellow bags are just evacuation sheets. So if somebody can't move, we can lay them on it and drag them to the back if we need to, or pick them up. And then this is just a red handle to open the back door. Don't let a lot of buttons and a lot of gadgets and stuff scare you from doing this. It's an easy job to do for the money. Now, do some bus drivers get kids that are bad? They sure do. And you just have to work through that. There's not any job out there that's perfect. But I would have to say, in my 15 years of full-time, I've had real good success. Look down here. And this is just a radio that communicates with the bus garage or the school. So nothing fancy about it. So on the outside, I mean, there's nothing. There's the red and yellow lights. I showed you where the buttons was on them. There's the yellow bar right there. That's that gate I talked to you about. That'll swing out. Keep the kids from walking up front and you running over them without seeing them. You have these mirrors right here. This mirror, see how it's curved? I went on the other side. What that does is that allows me, when I'm sitting in that driver's seat, to see down in front of this. But if they were right up on it, I don't know if I could see. So this bar right here forces them to walk out away from the bus. And it lets me see them, either in the mirrors or visually see them. And, you know, like this little gadget right here, that's nothing. That's just plug it in when it gets cold. Got an extra set of tires that you wouldn't have on a regular vehicle. But nothing fancy. The stop sign, you got plenty of mirrors so you can see what you're doing. That little white gadget is a camera. This right here, little box here, batteries, stuff that you don't have to worry about. When you raise the hood, the oil dipsticks on one side. On my bus, they're both side by side, the oil dipstick transmission. You know, the things you'll have to do on a bus, I am doing about everything that you'll have to learn. You look at them tires, you make sure they ain't bad, make sure nothing's in them, make sure the wheels ain't cracked. Actually, there's a part on the test that says, did you make sure that the tailpipe extends past the bumper? And that one does. But you look at the back. All you have to know is that your bus is safe and ready to go. So the things that you'll learn in bus school, which is about a week long, it's just common sense stuff. It just forces you to learn them. That door right there is my wheelchair lift. We won't let it down, but that allows me to load my kids that are in wheelchairs up and down without having to take them out of their wheelchairs. Simple, push button process. Nothing to it. So I was going to show y'all this, these wheelchair things to show you that they're pretty simple. This is one right here. So it just has these little things and it slides into this track. It's pretty simple. Just line it up where you want it. My aide keeps ours marked and it pops right in. And then it just basically ratchet straps and a seat belt. You just have 4 of them. 2 on the outside and then 2 on the inside. So outside rows and the inside rows. Help keeps it balanced. It's all common sense stuff. No, like I say, not rocket science. Alright guys, you can learn to drive a school bus. If you can drive a vehicle, you can learn to drive a school bus. They'll put you out in a parking lot. They'll let you drive a bus around. You'll learn how to trust them mirrors. You'll learn how, when you're backing up, at what point your rear end is versus an object that you're going to back around. Don't let it scare you about being in a big vehicle. This big vehicle operates just like a little one. You have to watch what you do in a little one. You got to watch what you do in a big one. The only difference is that you got precious cargo on here that don't belong to you. And so you just have to go at things a little slower and a little easier. But I just thought this would be a great little job to have for some of you. For some of you guys, it'll apply. Some of you guys, it won't work. But I just thought it was a neat little job. Like I say, it's about $13,000 a year what it pays here in Alabama. And what they do is they break it down 12 months. So I get about $700 or $800 a month, bring home, and I get health insurance. I get like 14 paid days off. That's sick and vacation together. And then I get off every time the flag flies, just about, and all summer. And then I get like extra days at Christmas, extra days at Thanksgiving. I mean, there's just a lot of days that you're off. You have a lot of traveling time that you can do if you work this job full time. So anyway, if any of you guys have any questions, put them in the comment below and we'll try to answer them. And like I say, all this information I'm giving you is based on DeKalb County, Alabama. Our pay scale and how we do things. They may do things different in your area or where you want to be. So you just have to check that out. But one thing I know for sure is it's not that hard. It's an easy job to have for what it pays. If you have any more questions, put them below.